All right, now it's time for our Pelicans Kia of Covington report. To talk more about the team, an insider, Schmidt Dua, joins us.
Let's just get to the big news. Willie Green fired. You reported this last spring, very well documented, that David Griffin, the former executive vice president, wanted to fire Willie. He was out. The mandate was keep Willie. Is this a move they should have made last offseason?
Absolutely. The Pelicans should have moved on from Willie Green when they had the chance. Willie Green had lost the players' locker room. At the end of last season, it seemed like he had less and less support. And heading into the off-season where Joe Dumars was hired, Dumars wanted to evaluate Green for himself, give him an opportunity to say, hey, perhaps it was injuries that held him back. But it was clear that Willie's voice stopped carrying the same weight that it had in the locker, and now the Pelicans are in a big losing stretch with uphill fight for the playoffs.
You mentioned that uphill fight, but it's well known the NBA season is a marathon, not a sprint. Still a lot of games to be played. Is there any way that James Borrego can maybe wave his magic wand and get some wins going and really put together a streak, knowing that there is still so much of the season to be played?
Yeah, typically when an NBA coach is fired, there is a little bit of responsiveness from the team, just a pride, so to speak, to, okay, if now the coach is gone, it's going to be us next. So I think the Pelicans are going to play with more effort, and hopefully that translates to win. I think that James Borrego brings a brand new offensive system that maybe he wasn't able to implement to the fullest extent under Willie Green, because part of his responsibility to execute Willie's vision, now he'll have his own vision to imprint upon the team. So I think the Pelicans brass is optimistic that Borrego will be able to generate more wins, but if not, they'll be doing a coaching search in the summer again.
I mean, major changes surrounding this franchise over the last 6 months. Is it possible that we see even more change over the next few months into the season? And possibly, would it be an option to maybe move on from Zion? Could you see some major pieces like that start to change as this team really creates a new chapter?
And just to follow up, because Kendall's right, David Griffin is out, Willie Green is out, Zion would be turning the page on an entire chapter of this organization.
Brandon Ingram was traded. I mean, you saw so many guys who were the staple of this franchise leaving.
Yeah, I think, to your point about earlier mandates, I do think that Pelicans ownership wanted to move on from Zion Williamson at the end of last season. Now, I think the remaining part of this season, the next 70 games or so, is an extended audition for everybody on the roster, including James Borrego, right? The Pelicans and Joe Dumars want to get a good look at, hey, what do we have with James Borrego here? What do we have with Zion Williamson? Can Borrego unlock the next level in Williamson? Can Borrego unlock the next level in some of these other veterans? Can he take the rookies to from being promising to like actual contributors in the NBA space? So I think everything is on the table, and we'll start to hear more as we approach the trade deadline in February.
So just to follow up very quickly here, the best out of Zion. Alvin Gentry couldn't get it done. Stan Van Gundy couldn't get it done. Willie Green couldn't get it done. Let's see if James Borrego can bring the best out, because I think changes are coming sooner rather than later if it doesn't happen soon. Final question here, if it's not James Borrego. And look, I like James Borrego. I thought he was really great in his Q&A with us all yesterday, laying out his vision, interactive, talking to the players. If it's not him, are there some names maybe keep an eye on out there that you would say these could potentially be Joe Dumars, guys as a head coach, Troy Weaver guys as a head coach?
Yeah, I think what you mentioned right there is going to be a very key factor in the next coaching search. Who gets more say in the decision? Is it Troy Weaver, who is running the day-to-day operations right now, or is it Joe Dumars, who has more of an oversight role? If Dumars has his way, I believe he's more inclined to a certain style of coaches. And I think if Weaver has his way, he has his own preferences. So that's going to be the big battle, in my opinion. And if it's more Weaver, you might be seeing people from the DMV area. You might be seeing someone maybe like Sam Cassell, or someone he's had ties to in the past, like Kevin Ollie. I know there were reports that Weaver wanted to hire Ollie for Detroit. But with Dumars, I believe that he may be someone that wants to hire an experienced winning head coach. Could it be Taylor Jenkins, who had a ton of success in Memphis? Could it be Mike Malone, who's out there? Could Dumars be wanting to bring in a solidified name?
Yeah, all right, Schmidt, great stuff. Obviously, you've done a great job covering the team, and we appreciate your analysis tonight.